What up, people? Before I begin today's video, I first like to apologize for everyone out there. I haven't been uploading content consistently, particularly on this channel. Your boy's been mad busy, but without further ado, let's talk about the matter at hand. And what we're going to be talking about is Dave Chappelle's reaction to Katt Williams' interview on Club Shay Shay. Now, I did a video covering it, as well as I did a live stream on my other YouTube channel talking about it. Katt Williams went to Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharpe's podcast, and basically, quote unquote, exposed the myths and the misconceptions of Black Hollywood and comedians from the past and the present, and shared a couple of stories here and there. A phenomenal interview by Shannon Sharpe. And I tell people this all the time. Shannon Sharpe really doesn't get his flowers. He doesn't get his props on being an interviewer. And I kind of like Shannon Sharpe's format on how he interviews people. It's not traditional. He sort of like goes with the flow, but occasionally, even though people think that he doesn't center the interview back to what they were talking about, he does gradually, when he's interviewing the guests, bring them back a little bit. Now, I know Steven Jackson says otherwise, but this interview has gone, as the last time I checked it, it was up to 50 million views on YouTube. Now, which a lot of people, I think Joe Budden talked about it on his show, on how Club Shay Shay is really, the entity is really not his. I mean, well, Club Shay Shay, the podcast, is lock, stock, and barreled Shannon Sharpe's. But when it comes to the residuals and the money that's garnered from these 50 million views, it's coming from the volume. So the volume's getting the majority of that. I don't know if that's true or not. I've watched several videos, read several articles. It sort of points that way, but that's neither here nor there. That's not what we're really talking about. What I want to talk about is Katt Williams. He went in on folks such as Cedric the Entertainer. He went in on Steve Harvey. He went in on a lot of people. Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish. He also gave his props to Dave Chappelle. He gave his props and respect to Bernie Mac. R.I.P. to Bernie Mac. He said some nice things about Bernie Mac. He said some nice things about several other people, but he was really going in, not too much on D.L. Hughley. He didn't say too much about D.L. Hughley, but he's really going in on Cedric the Entertainer and Steve Harvey. And for those who've been living on the rock, allow you your boy to explain. Katt Williams has issues with Steve Harvey, and it goes back, all right? I think he got more issues with Steve Harvey than he does with Katt Williams, even though he goes in on Kevin Hart. But with this interview with him and Shannon Sharpe, he talked about how Cedric the Entertainer stole his joke. I listened to both versions of the joke. I listened to when Katt Williams was on Comic View using this joke, and I also heard the joke from Cedric the Entertainer on Kings of Comedy. It is kind of similar, minus what they were talking about. Katt Williams was talking about his raggedy hoopty, his raggedy car breaking down on him. And Cedric Entertainer talked about, black people having rocket ships in space and things of that nature. Even though the jokes are similar, how they, how they, display themselves on stage when they're, putting in visuals and stuff like that, those are, one of one. All right. So I get where Katt Williams coming from. Cedric the Entertainer stole his joke. He talked about how Cedric the Entertainer was really supposed to be more of an entertainer than a comedian. He was supposed to dance, sing, and tell jokes. He wasn't a good dancer. He wasn't a good singer. So he just stuck with the jokes. He talked about that. Now, Cedric Entertainer did respond, and, even though Cedric Entertainer apologized for taking the joke, and they did that long ago, he issued a statement. Steve Harvey has yet talked about it, and I remember, and Katt Williams talked about it on Club Shay Shay, how they did a show, and it was supposed to be one of these, what they do now with the singers, when we had the pandemic. I'm trying to think of the versus battles. So it's supposed to be a versus battles back in the day with Steve Harvey and Katt Williams. And basically, Steve Harvey took it as just a regular, job assignment. He went on stage. He went up first. He told his jokes and he left. Katt Williams, I saw the thing from beginning to end. He went in on Steve Harvey. The stuff that he was saying on Club Shay Shay, I already knew about that when he went in on Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey has yet to respond. I don't think Steve Harvey will respond. And when you talk about, he was just going in on these guys. And Kevin Hart, he talked about how Kevin Hart's not funny, things of that nature. He even talked about Tiffany Haddish. I do agree with him on Tiffany Haddish. I don't really think, he called Kevin Hart an industry plant. I would use that with Tiffany Haddish. I think Tiffany is not, and Tiffany Haddish is the perfect illustration of the adage, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Tiffany Haddish linked with the right people to position herself to where she is now. You're doing Girls Trip and you're doing this movie with the best actresses in Black Hollywood, which is rare. It's rarefied air. It's stuff that you dream about, not for it to actually happen. But also, you have to realize Tiffany Haddish had connections with Steve Harvey. He had connections with Kevin Hart, and that's why she got the role on Girls Trip. I think she was more funnier in Girls Trip than when she does stand-up. I don't think she's really a comedian. I just think she does shows and tells jokes and things of that nature, but just hilarious. I don't think she's really all that funny. I think his name is Des Banks. He's like a community. He's a YouTuber, a social media type of comedian. I think there are comedians, and then there are stand-up comedians. And I feel like the lines are blurred when you talk about these people. B. Simone is one of those type of people who blew up in the internet and now does stand-up. I've been to a B. Simone show. She's really not that funny. She may say funny stuff, but she's just not funny. But Tiffany Haddish, to me, I can't even recall or recite my favorite Tiffany Haddish joke. I can do that with several other female comedians. I just cannot do that with Tiffany Haddish. But that's my opinion. Everyone has their opinion. They're entitled to it. So, yeah, he went in on them. And, Corey Holcomb, after the Club Shay Shay interview, Corey Holcomb he talked about the Katt Williams interview. He sort of defended, a lot of people that Katt Williams talked about. Even the joke. He said, really, Katt Williams stole a joke. He stole the JB Smoove joke when, Katt Williams got on stage and had the hustling music of Rick Ross playing, saying, if you was doing this, that, and the third, you'll have the hustle. Everybody's hustling, Rick Ross song. And JB Smoove did that on Def Comedy Jam. I forgot about that. He did that joke. I remember, and when you listen to him when you hear the joke side by side, and when you actually see the visuals of the joke, there are some similarities, but they're not one. But they can be one of one. All right. But my thing of it is, you know, imitation is another form of flattery. And when someone is taking a line or your whole entire joke, that should just let you know that's how hot your stuff is. You know, it's no different than when I keep forgetting the chick that did the OnlyFans first before everyone else started doing it. She used to be on the Disney Channel, and she created an OnlyFans, made millions upon millions of dollars doing it. And then the Catch Me Outside girl did it, and then Cardi B did it. And now every woman in America has an OnlyFans. Okay? So imitation is another form of flattery. All right? If you do it well, a lot of people are going to duplicate what you did. It's just like the girl that does the NPC stuff on TikTok. I can't think of her name right now. Oh my God, I had her name, but then I lost it. But you guys know what I'm talking about. She does these NPC live streams and these NPC videos, and now every female does it, okay? It's just like when you go on social media, you'll see like, females posing in fast food outfits, looking beautiful and sexy. Guess what happens? When you get the views, everyone else is going to repeat the process. And it's in everything, all right? So, and I'm not excusing it, and I'm not accepting it. I'm just telling you guys, it is what it is, all right? If it's something hot and it's popping, and, everyone does it, okay? Everyone says Joe Budden is the godfather. He's the podfather. He was the originators of the podcast format. Now everyone has seen that Joe Budden is creating a lane, and guess what everyone did? Everyone started having a podcast, Everyone, baby mama, grandmama, uncle, nephew, brother, husband, mother. Now everybody has a podcast. So you just got to take it for what it is. Now, here's the meat and the potatoes of it. Even though Corey Holcomb sort of kind of, and then he even said, and as well as other people have said, Mike Epps even said it. Look, there's a lot of stuff Katt Williams was saying that was on point, but then there was a lot of stuff that was totally fabricated about him doing a 4-5 and him reading 1,000 books. I think it was 6,000. I'm gonna just say 1,000 books at the age of 6 and 7. There are some things that is just he's saying it for entertainment, but there are some things that he was telling the truth on. All right, and you have to decipher what was true and what was not true. All right, but Dave Chappelle is in a little hot water because he did a stand-up show, and normally these things you're not supposed to film or record him. It's just him practicing some jokes and things of that nature. But someone in the audience recorded the thing, and Dave Chappelle said, "Look, he loves Katt Williams, have no beef with Katt Williams, have no quarrels with Katt Williams, but stopping another man from making his money, that's where he draws the line. All right, keeping another man from his livelihood or having a livelihood, that's where you draw the line. All right, and yeah, people are going to say, well, Katt Williams was trying to expose the Illuminati, and he's trying to expose all these fake comedians and this, that, and the third, to each his own. But to me, and I sort of kind of co-signed with Dave Chappelle, where you can tell the truth and you can tell your story, but you don't have to go as far as saying these people should not be trusted. We should expose these people. These people should not make another dime doing anything else, and things of that nature. It's good to tell your side of the story, but to add more on it is just a little bit too much. And Dave Chappelle said Katt Williams is a great painter, And it's sad to see this great painter, instead of creating masterpieces, this great painter is making art that no one wants. All right. So I get where Dave Chappelle was coming from. And I see how a lot of people are missing the point. A lot of people are killing the messenger instead of dissecting the actual message. But I kind of agree with Dave Chappelle. There's a lot of people that agree with Dave Chappelle. It's funny how Corey Holcomb was, calling cap on a lot of things Katt Williams was saying. But when Dave Chappelle was doing the exact same thing what Corey Holcomb was doing a couple of weeks back, and everyone was saying Corey Holcomb was a hater and things of that nature. Now, all of a sudden, when Dave Chappelle does it and try to say, hey, look, there's a lot of things he said that was true, but there's a lot of things he didn't say. He said that was kind of inaccurate. And there's a lot of things he said that I just can't stand on. And cutting someone's livelihood, I'm not about that life. It's good to have those morals and things of that nature. Corey Holcomb jumped up and said, Dave Chappelle don't know what he's talking about, yada, yada, yada. So, okay, so that's all I got. Normally I talk about sports, but I felt like this should have been addressed. And guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.